want to get rid of the pen marks completely, just tap the E key on the keyboard as it erases them. So click and drag and highlight words or different parts of your slide. And in this PowerPoint tutorial, I'm going to concentrate on two separate elements of PowerPoint and share with you some of my favorite keyboard shortcuts for the program. We'll start by looking at keyboard shortcuts that are useful while giving presentations, and then I'll show you a few that are useful when making PowerPoint presentations. I'll offer you a bonus keyboard shortcut now to get into presentation mode because initially I want to switch to that mode. When your presentation is prepared for sharing, the majority of people will often go to the lower right and select this button to begin the slideshow. Others, click from beginning under the slideshow option up above. Both of them are effective ways to launch a slideshow, but there is a somewhat quicker way, which is to just press Windows plus F5 on top of the keyboard. If you press Windows plus F5, it should return you to the very beginning of the slideshow, regardless of the slide you are currently working on or where you are in your presentation. What if you have been presenting your slideshow but now you decide that's not what you want to do? Perhaps you should take a brief break from it and show the audience something else. The slideshow should then be restarted, but this time on the current slide rather than the first one. In that case, all you do is hold Shift and tap F5, and that resumes the slideshow on the current slide. Okay, great. So I'm going to tap Windows plus F5 to start the presentation at the beginning. The next PowerPoint keyboard shortcut I want to share with you helps you navigate in your presentation. So most people know that spacebar, enter, and the right arrow on the keyboard, those all advance your presentation. The back arrow on the keyboard takes your presentation one slide back each time you tap on the back arrow. Well, what if you want to jump from slide 2 all the way to slide 6? If you want to do that, all you have to do is tap the number 6 on the keyboard and tap enter on the keyboard. That will take you directly to slide 6. Now, what if I want slide 4? Tap 4 and hit enter. How about slide 1? Tap 1 and hit enter. If you want to, tap 2 and hit enter. Whatever slide you would like to jump to, just tap that number key and then tap enter. Now that also works with double-digit numbers. Say you have a very big slideshow. So if you have a slide 12, type in 1, 2 and tap enter. If you have 50 slides, type in slide 45 and hit enter. And then it takes you to slide 45. So that's great, but what about those times when you're not sure which slide you want to jump to? Maybe your presentation is a little bit longer and it's hard to know which number to enter. All you have to do is hold Ctrl and tap S. That gives you a pop-up which holds a list of all of your slides with their slide titles and a slide number. So, I would like to jump to this particular slide. I use the arrow keys to go up and down to select it, and then I tap enter on the keyboard. It takes me directly to that slide. As you're presenting at times, you may not want the content of the slide to actually show up in front of your audience quite yet. So, let's say I want to not show the audience this particular slide quite yet. There's a keyboard shortcut. Actually, 4 of them that you can use. You can just tap the B key on the keyboard, or if you prefer the period key, and that gives you a black screen. So it hides the current slide until you're ready, and then you can just tap B again to toggle it back on. If you don't like black background, you can tap W and it gives you a white screen. If you prefer instead of W, you can use the comma key. Another helpful keyboard shortcut is the virtual laser pointer. If you hold the Control key and then click with the mouse on the screen, you get a virtual laser pointer. Now, why would you ever need this or want this? Because sometimes When you're presenting, you want to draw the audience's attention to a certain word or to a part of the slide. It can be hard to do that, but the virtual laser pointer helps you out with that. You can also draw on a slide by holding the Control key and tapping P. It turns your mouse pointer into a pen. In this case, a red pen, and I can draw all over this presentation as much as I would like. Now, if I advance a slide with the arrow key, the pen marks do go away, but if I come back to that slide, the pen marks are still there, so if you want to get rid of the pen marks completely, just tap the E key on the keyboard as it erases them. A similar keyboard shortcut is Ctrl-I that gives you a highlighter pen. You can use your mouse to click and drag and highlight words or different parts of your slide, and similar to the pen, it remains there on the screen unless you tap E. So we've looked at several presentation keyboard shortcuts that are great when you're actually presenting. Now, if you forget some of these options, there's another keyboard shortcut that will help you out. When giving a presentation, all you need to do is hold down the Shift key while tapping F10 to bring up a pop-up with several of these presentation choices and shortcuts. As you can see, there are options for the pointer and other screen colors, including black and white. You can click to see all of your slides at once and then navigate to the specific slides you want to emphasize. You can also zoom in on a specific area of your presentation. Well, these are my preferred PowerPoint keyboard keys for when I'm giving a presentation, but what about while I'm constructing my presentation? So let's examine some illustrations. The majority of them that I enjoy involve text formatting. So, for example, instead of typing the phrase morphing in normal text, I'd like to bold it. So, I will hold down the Control key and hit B. Then I can start typing morphing. You can see that it is in bold. To remove the bold, I press Ctrl B again. Then I can type, and you can see that it is no longer in bold. So that's a helpful keyboard shortcut. It keeps my hands on the keyboard rather than the mouse and makes me more efficient as I type. A similar keyboard shortcut is Ctrl-I for italicize. So if I type now, you can see it's in italics, and the third option is Ctrl-U for underline. Now you notice the mistake I made. I have not been undoing the bold and italics, and so I need to go in and hold Ctrl. Tap B to get out of bold. Hold Ctrl and tap I to get out of italics. Now if I type I just get underlined to text. So Ctrl B, Ctrl I, and Ctrl U. Those are helpful when you're creating your presentation to keep your hands on the keyboard and to be able to work as efficiently as possible. My last best PowerPoint keyboard shortcut that I'd like to share with you today is for spell check. As you can see here, I have misspelled a word. All I have to do to start spell check is tap the F7 key across to the top of the screen, and it starts up the spell check. I can just go ahead and ignore that, or I can fix it. I just like all of these shortcuts. Of course, I could do that using the mouse. I could just go up here to review and start my spell check. Just knowing some of these keyboard shortcuts will really make your use of PowerPoint more enjoyable and more efficient and more effective. Thanks for watching. I hope you find this tutorial to be helpful, and if you did, please click the like button below and consider subscribing to my YouTube channel for more videos about software tutorials. When you do subscribe, please click the bell next to the subscribe button. If you do that, you'll be notified whenever I post another video. If you'd like to support my YouTube channel, consider becoming a supporter of mine by clicking onto that Super Thanks button. And that would really mean a lot. Peace.